Namaste to everyone. I welcome you all in my YouTube video channel. Today I will deliver lecture on linear algebra, chapter elementary transformations, lecture number part 2 of 10, in which I will give some important ideas which will help to understand the next theorems and problems. Let B2 is a 2 by 2 matrix in which elements in the first row be 1, 2, in the second row 3, 4. 2 by 2 matrix implies that determinant of B2 equal to 4 multiply 1 minus 3 multiply 2. This is minus 2, which is not equal to 0. Therefore, B2 is a non-singular matrix. And the rank of B2 equal to 2. Let A be a matrix in which elements of first row be 1, 2, 0, 0, 0. Elements of second row be 3, 4, 0, 0, 0. Third row 0, 0, 0, 0. Fourth row 0, 0, 0, 0. We may divide this matrix A in some parts. This first part is B2. This is B2. This part is 0 matrix. This part is 0 matrix. And this part is 0 matrix. This AB 4 by 5 matrix. Here number of rows be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And number of columns be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, this is 4 by 5 matrix, in which this 0 matrix is of order, here number of rows be 2 and number of columns be, here we have number of columns 2, so 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2, this is 3. This 0 matrix is order, here number of rows be 2 because total number of rows be 4 minus number of rows in B2 be 2. So this is 4 minus 2, 2, and number of columns 1, 2 means number of columns of B2, and this 0 matrix has number of rows 2, how to 4 minus 2 equal to 2, and number of columns 3, how 5 minus number of columns of B2. So this is 2 multiply 3, 5 minus 2. Here it is obvious that rank of A 2, because this 2 by 2 matrix give the value of the determinant minus 2 not 0 and the submatrix of order greater than 2 gives the determinant 0. So all submatrices of order more than 2 gives determinant 0. So rank of A equal to 2. In general form, let rank of a matrix A equal to R and matrix A is written as here BR 0 0 0. Then rank of BR is R. This matrix be of order m by n. Then this zero matrix is of order number of rows r by number of columns n minus r. Up to these r columns, here total number of columns be n minus r. This zero matrix of order number of rows will be total number of rows m and here number of rows r. So m minus r by number of columns be r, and this zero matrix will be here number of rows will be m minus r and number of columns will be n minus r. Now I will show you that if we apply elementary column transformation on A, then the matrix A will reduce and get what type of form? Number one, let we apply elementary column transformation C1 to C3 means we mutually interchange column 1 and column 3. Then A will be reduced in the form we write firstly column 3 0 0 0 0, then column 2 same 2 4 0 0, then column 1 1 3 0 0 and next column remains same. Here we see that these two rows, first two rows are non-zero rows, means we get non-zero elements in these rows. So we may write these as, this matrix may be written as A2, here 0 matrix. So in this elementary column transformation, the last rows of A are not changed. That is, this transformation does not affect the last rows containing zeros, zero elements. In A, last two rows contain zero elements. So here we see that we get the same result, same zero. So reduced form of A will be A to 0. Let I5 the unit matrix of order 5. Let us apply the elementary column transformation on I5. C1 double implication C3 means interchange of column 1 and column 3. We get a matrix, means elementary matrix F1, where F1 will be this. Here we have written the first column in the place of third column, here third column, and in the place of first column we write elements of third column here, and we get this F1 elementary matrix. Now we post multiply F1 with A F1, and we will get this matrix. This is A, this is F1, and we get this result. And here we see that the first two rows remain non-zero rows and last two rows zero rows. So we write here in the form A to 0. Here we see that this matrix and this matrix be same, means if we post multiply the corresponding elementary matrix, this is corresponding elementary matrix, means here we have applied the column transformation C1 double implication C3, means mutually interchange of column 1 and column 3. Here also we have used the same transformation, interchange of column 1 and column 3. So F1 be the corresponding elementary matrix. Elementary matrix means when we apply single elementary transformation on unit matrix, then it will be called an elementary matrix. This is an elementary matrix. So we have post multiplied this elementary matrix, means corresponding elementary matrix with A. We get the same result. So if we apply elementary column transformation in a matrix, and if we post multiply the corresponding elementary matrix with the given matrix, we will get the same result. And it is to be noted that in both cases we see that the last rows of A are not changed, means here 0, then here also 0, means in the form of A to 0. That is, last row remains same. Last row of A remains same in this elementary transformation, and we get this form, means this transformation does not affect the last rows if the structure of matrix is in this form. Now we apply second kind of elementary column transformation on A, on matrix A. Let we apply elementary column transformation C2 implication 5C2. This means we multiply each element of column 2 by 5. So here if we multiply column 2 by 5, we get 10, here 20, here 0, 0, and others column remains same. And here we see that we get Number of non-zero rows be 2. So here we call this part by A2. This A2 is not equal to the A2 of the first case. Only we here call this part by A2. And last row is 0. Here we see that in this elementary column transformation, the last rows of A are not changed. Last row of A contains 0, 0, 0, 0. So here also 2 rows 0, same as A. Means this transformation does not affect the last rows of A. Means last rows containing 0 remain same. Now let I5 be the unit matrix of order 5 and we apply the same column transformation, elementary column transformation on I5. C2 implication 5C2. We apply here. Means we multiply column number 2 by 5. We get an elementary matrix F2, where F2 will be, we multiply the second column by 5, 5 multiply 0, 0, 5 multiply 1, 5 and other 0, and other columns remain same. Now we post multiply this elementary matrix. Means we write F2 after A, not before A. And AF2 will be this matrix. We multiply A and here F2. We get this result. This is the same as this reduced form of A. Means if we apply the elementary column transformation C2 implication 5C2 on A, and if we post multiply the elementary matrix, means corresponding elementary matrix. Corresponding elementary matrix means we apply the same column transformation on unit matrix I5. We get the same result and we get the same form here. A2 0, upper 2 rows non-zero rows, that is A2, and lower part is 0, 0 rows. Now we apply third type of elementary column transformation and we will see that we get the same type of result. Upper part A2, lower part 0. Means last 2 rows are not affected by the column transformation if the matrix A is of this form. Let us apply the elementary column transformation C3 implication C3 plus 2C1 on A. This means at the position of column 3 we write the elements of column 3 plus 2 multiply corresponding elements of column 1, and then this matrix A will be changed in this form. Here A is this, at the place of column 3 here 0 plus 2 multiply 1 means 2. Here 0 plus 2 multiply 3 means 6 here, and other elements will be 0, as here we see 0. So this is the reduced form of A when we apply this type of column transformation. And here we see that first 2 rows are non-zero rows. We may write this in the form of A2, and last 2 rows 0 rows we write here 0. Here we see that for this elementary transformation the last rows of A are not changed. That is, this transformation does not affect the last two rows of A containing 0 elements. Now let I5 be the unit matrix of order 5, and we apply the same column transformation C3 implication C3 plus 2C1 on this matrix, unit matrix, and we get an elementary matrix F3. F3 is obtained by this column transformation, means at the place of C3, column 3, we write element of column 3 0 plus 2 multiply 1 means 2. Here 2. Here 0 plus 2 multiply 0, 0. Here 1 plus 0 multiply 2. So 1. So here 1 and other remains same. This is F3. Now we post multiply this F3 with matrix A, and we will get this matrix. This is the same as this, same, and this is of the form A20. So if we post multiply the corresponding elementary matrix with the matrix A, we get the same result in case of elementary column transformation. In elementary column transformation, we post multiply the corresponding elementary matrix with the given matrix. Now we apply elementary row transformation. Let this row transformation be R2 double implication R3. Means we write the elements of row 3 in place of row 1 and elements of row 1 in place of row 3. So here in A we apply this, we write elements of row 3 0 0 0 in place of row 1, and we write elements of row 1 1 2 0 0 in place of row 3 here, and we get a matrix. This matrix is of the form, here we subdivide this two parts. This part is known as A2 and this part is 0. This part is same as this part of A. Here 0 0 0 0 0 0 means no change, means last 3 columns of A remains same 0. Again let I4, in column transformation we have already taken I5, but here I4. Why I4? A is of size 4 by 5. If we multiply any 4 by 5 size matrix with any matrix which is pre-multiplied matrix, the number of columns must be equal to number of rows of A. So this will be 4 and 4. For pre-multiplication of a matrix, the number of rows of A must be number of column of the pre-multiplied matrix. This is 4 be the number of columns of pre-multiplied matrix. This. So I4 must be 4 by 4. And we apply the same row transformation R2 double implication R3 on I4. Means we write elements of row 3 in place of row 1 here, and we write elements of row 1 in place of row 3 here, and we get an elementary matrix E1, we pre-multiply E1 with A, we get this result. And this result is same as this result, means reduced form of A. So, if we pre-multiply by corresponding elementary matrix with the matrix A, we get the same row transformation. And this will be of the form A to 0, means the columns containing 0 elements of last columns will be same. So it will be of the form A to 0 if the matrix is in this form. Now we apply second type of elementary row transformation in a matrix A. In a similar way, if we apply the elementary row transformation on row number ith row by multiplying k with each element of ith row, then the matrix A will be reduced in the form A to 0. Also, if we pre-multiply A by the corresponding elementary matrix, then we will get the same result A to 0, this form. And now we apply the next type of elementary row transformation, Ri to Ri plus Krj. That means in the place of ith row, we write the elements of ith row plus k multiply corresponding elements of jth row, and the matrix A will be reduced in the same form A to 0. And if we pre-multiply the corresponding elementary matrix E3 by A, we will get the same result. So in these elementary transformation, we see that the last 3 columns of A are not changed. That is, this transformation does not affect last 3 columns of A containing 0. That is, this part remains same as A. Here, this part 0. 0 part will be same, means A to 0. So we see that if we perform elementary column transformation of A, and also if we post multiply the corresponding elementary matrix with A, we get the same result. And at this case, we will get that A will be of the form, means reduced to the form A to 0. And if we perform elementary row transformation, any type of elementary row transformation on matrix A, and at the same time if we pre-multiply A by the corresponding elementary matrix, we get the same result. Means in this form we get A reduced to the form A to 0. Thanks for watching my video. If you are satisfied with my presentation and contents, then please click on like button. And if you have not yet subscribed my YouTube channel, then please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you.